Happy Thursday. Third Rail Thursday. It is here. We made it. Tomorrow is Friday. Welcome, everyone. I I was away from chat there for a bit. Um, I don't wanna know what's going on in chat. Just based on the last few messages, I don't wanna know. Don't I Jeez. You'll have to let me know how everything sounds. It's been a long time since I streamed. I would say I'm somewhat prepared, but I'm never truly prepared. The Coke has returned, but you'll notice it's a zero Coke Zero. I made the switch. Um, ooh, that would be good. I would have went with my Coca-Cola tank car back in the day, on my last layout. Anyway, we're just gonna have a little run by here. It is now 8, so everybody for joining. Is that like jerky to anybody else, or is it just me? Yeah, welcome, James, Great Lake, Mark, Todd, welcome, welcome, Dave Hughes, welcome. All right, we have we have a lot to go through. It's been a long time, and there's been a lot of progress on the layout, since even last video, starting with this area. Just gonna move the camera up. I had to get a new tripod because I lost the piece that mounts to the camera and clips into. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I unplugged the camera. Oh, I need an adult. I couldn't be trusted. All right, we're back in business. Are we? Yes. Cool. All right. I see why this is not going to work. Okay, I have to turn the camera around as well in the room. Ooh, should be pretty easy. It'll drop anything. Technical difficulties. You didn't think this was gonna go smooth, you know? Everybody who's been here before knows that we messed up. Oh, there we go. Angle. Yeah, I don't like this new tripod. I use my old one, but I can't find a piece. So, excuse the audio choppy. Ooh, okay. Okay, hang tight. I have returned. How is this? Is this better? It definitely looks less choppy on my end. I know StreamYards didn't like my Google Chrome. I'm on Mozilla now. I'll have to remember that for next time. Still looks a little weird on the video on my preview here on StreamYards, but it's probably fine. Nathan, welcome. Dwight, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. All right. So as I was saying, I got a new tripod and I hate it. So forgive me. I guess I should probably do that. There we go. So, you just missed it, but we have some new locomotives, which we'll see again in a moment. I have tons of stuff to share with you and show you since even my last layout update. I've been hard at work. I've been very motivated. Definitely on a roll. I've been trying to get Mark to work on his layout, trying to inspire him to work. But that's only part of it. A lot of it is I've just been slowing down, getting back into the hobby. I know it's kind of backwards because it's spring, and a lot of the times it's a winter hobby, but I'm just really enjoying it, and it's been going really well. So I have a lot to show you guys. This new area up in Dwayne's Junction has been rearranged. It's similar to what it was, but I had to rearrange it because I had to move this station back. I had to do that for a very exciting reason. So initially it was pushed up forward here just a little bit. This building came back. None of these lights are wired up right now because I've only just put them in, but I'm also going to take them out and replace them because pretty much I bought a bunch of cheap eBay lights or Amazon lights, I think. They're cool white for street lights and yard lights, and I've always disliked that they're cool white. I just don't like that aesthetic. I don't know how you guys feel, but for a lot of things, like especially because this is based on the 60s, 70s, the old incandescent light, the yellowish, orangish kind of hue has been where it's at. So what I did is I actually painted the lenses of a lot of the lights, and it came out okay, but it's not super bright. It's not as bright as I wanted it to be. I'm gonna throw the reversing bypass here so that this bad boy can go past and I can show it off. I find like the white lights for inside buildings I can get away with because it's like fluorescent, right? For back in the day, or LED if it's modern. Okay, hold on. Ooh, what are those? No, focus on those. Yeah, look at those. Ooh, getting the B unit. I hate seeing you go, but love watching you drive away. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, thanks, Dwight. Um, those are Walthers, the FP7 and the F7B combo. I picked those up on sale from Rogers from Walthers directly, and I just popped in a lock pilot. So just ECC, no sound right now, because honestly, I didn't know if they were going to work on the layout. And it came down to buying DCC sound for these And or I think we have an uncouple. The layout is bigger, Dwight. The layout is bigger. We'll have to send this thing back up to get that. I don't know what happened. This has been going around for like half an hour. Suddenly, now that the camera's rolling, that's how it is. That's okay. That's okay. Where will I park those bad boys? Well, I'll get there. I gotta start from the beginning. So let's just pick these up. Is that coupled? I don't think so. It is definitely not. So these just have DCC, no sound, because I didn't know if they were going to work. And then yeah, that's why somebody left the reversing bypass on. This is why. Who did that? I guess that's why I have a key to lock it out so I can protect it from myself, huh? All right. Technical difficulties, amateur hour. That's actually the thing too, is I've been working on the layout like crazy, but I really haven't been running the layout too much. So, but that'll do it. At least that explains the whole. I've been running and ran for half an hour and there's been no problems because I haven't touched it. And as soon as I touch something, it blows up. That tracks, all right, boys. All right, we're back. So let's just move over here and we'll see some more locomotives. All right. I know it's a guys. We got like an hour. I'm gonna slow burn this for as long as humanly possible. James just trying to get right to the point. Spoiler: there may be a barge involved in tonight's live stream. And by maybe, I mean 100%. So that's super awesome. John, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Thanks for stopping by. Lunar Shock, how you doing? Thank you for joining. So it was basically between DCC sound for both or for only one. And although I absolutely love these Walthers FP7 and F7Bs, and there's a little bit of regret for not going sound at the same time, I did get sound decoders for these. These are the Atlas MLWs or Alco C424s. I had these on my other layout before I sold everything and got back into everything a couple of years ago, or more than a couple of years ago now. These are the Silver Series, which is exactly the same as the Gold Series. The Gold Series just came with ESU lock sound. I will be putting in my own. The one kind of caveat is I'll be putting in version 5 decoders, which is definitely better than than the version 4s, in my opinion. So those are only DC. I have the decoders. They're on the workbench. Everything's awesome. It's all ready to go. I just have to do it. I've been focusing on everything else. And honestly, I got the decoders in these Walthers, and they just run so good that how could I not? I'm trying to get the shot here, guys. Excuse everything. I really don't love this tripod. All right. It's coming out of the tunnel now. Let's get a... Nothing has really changed over here in Cordova Valley. In my video, I explained that I expanded Carpe Diem shipping from 1 car to 2 cars to just get some more switching on the layout. Of course, you know me, can never get enough. That's a sick one. Oof, that was a good shot. Yeah, these Walthers run mint. I mean, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. All right, so anyways, the whole thing about these locomotives is because I've got the 15-inch radius curves, I kind of need to experiment. I did buy some RDCs, some Proto 1000 RDCs, and they do not work. They are too long. Not only do they absolutely take out any line like trackside detail on the inside because they overhang so bad, but they get stuck on the top of my inclines. They bottom out, which I could resolve because it's just a hollow box. But I just wish they were shorter. I have two of them, different road numbers, but I am trying to sell them. But at the same time, if they don't sell, I'll tuck them away, and that'll be a down the road thing. What a sweet backdrop, Mark. I mean, once again, you were the inspiration for this. This is from Cena King, which is exactly what Mark did. I took foam board from the dollar store, and I bought off Cena King's website. And it's exactly like you said. It looks really interesting at first, but then once you kind of understand it, it's extremely easy to kind of fit things together. I ended up buying 4 different scenes, and that did my entire layout. I got the junior section because I didn't need the tall, like the height difference, which is the only difference in the junior. Look at that, though. Look at the shot. Like, look at that. That's sick. Mark, you're always fishing for compliments. Let's face it. We all know it. It's okay. It's okay. That's why we love you. But yeah, so I didn't do it quite in the same way Mark did it. What I ended up doing is actually cutting all the foam and mounting it, and then putting the backdrop on it. I still use two-sided tape, but I like in if I just move the camera. Hold on, I gotta wait for that shot. Look at those. Look at those. Like, they're so pretty. If I move the camera just slightly over here, where that station platform is, there's an indent. And if I were to kind of set up the foam and then take it off, I was worried that I wouldn't get the angles right. And then when I put it back in, the backdrop would rip or crinkle. And so I put the foam in first. But honestly, it was pretty easy to put it to put in. And Mark is a handsome man. He is. I definitely, yeah, I'll say it. I'm not afraid. But yeah, I'm really happy with the backdrop. A few little mistake areas, which of course I only noticed as soon as I brought it back up because I totally forgot and haven't like looked at them since. But ultimately, not a lot of issues. Like there's one big problem, which is a crinkle, and then a second issue, which was me trying to solder track and hitting it with the soldering iron, which isn't an installation fault. It's just a Dave fault. Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you, Rocket Gamer Pie. I would recommend it. I would recommend them. It was fast. It was I didn't have to pay too much because of just the amount that I got. But anyways, I got sidetracked. Mark sidetracked me with the backdrop. So the locomotives, I've been experimenting because the 15-inch radius is not very friendly to a lot of locomotives. But I've had the Baldwins, their Bowsers, the DS 441,000s, the DRS 441,000. Then I got the 2 Proto 2000 080s. And then just recently, I guess last year or so, I got the Bowser RS3. And all of those take the curves. And of course, I remember starting out going, I have these 3 diesel locomotives. They work on the 15-inch radius. They work going up the inclines. That's it. I'm not going to be able to have any other locomotives. And I was content with that for about 5 seconds. And then first chance I got, I bought a Bachmann steam engine, and it worked, and it just kind of escalated from there. But obviously, I don't have a lot of room to park these locomotives. The yard is exceptionally full. So, I had to do a couple of things. I did add an engine stall up in Dwayne's Junction. Um, but, what are you going to do? And send an update. Dave, you're back. I don't know if you ever left. Chris, what's up? Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. We're just laying down some lore about, how I got to where I'm at. I might have to crack this Coke Zero open real fast. All right. So, I bought the RDCs. They didn't work out. I was bummed. Then I came across the Atlas C424s. Like I said, I had these previously. They're beautiful locomotives. I really like them. Got them for a great price. Really couldn't beat the price. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger. And then, of course, I didn't even wait until they showed up. And I don't even remember how I came across this FP7 F7B set, but I did, and it was on like Super Sale from Walthers. It might still be on sale, but it was DC only. But I thought, hey, like the Alcos, it was like $100 a locomotive, not even. It was $100 with shipping for both, or for each. Is how it worked out. And with the Walthers, it ended up being about $150 for DC in both cases. But that's not bad, because in my mind, I'm starting to be okay with tucking things away for the future and that kind of stuff. So, like I said, with the RDCs, again, I got them at a pretty good price. They didn't work out. I do have them up for sale, but I'm kind of like, if they don't sell, I'm not super disappointed. I'll just tuck them away, and eventually, I'll make something happen. I also have a fancy carrying case to visit people's layouts, and that's where the EMD GP35s lives. The Athens that I weathered up and were featured in my last layout update video. So that's super exciting. It does not taste like bacon. Speaking of handsome. Okay, so of course, a large oversight or kind of problem of my layout, if you want to look at it from a prototypical point of view, is there's no interchange, and typically railroads don't function without an interchange. um I've been running it where it switches amongst itself, and in the kind of official lore, I always said the roads are so bad that trucks aren't reliable. And so there used to be a large rail barge system, and that was gone away with. And so the plan was to weather up pretty much everything, and act like it's been here for a while. They're just trying to maintain it, and keep things running. Well, of course, I'm always looking for more operating potential. It's true. Mark did have a train run, technically. He had track connected, some turnouts. We'll buy that. Here it comes. What? Here what comes? Oh, the carrying case. You want to see the carrying case? I'll show you guys the carrying case. What is this? What was that show? Oh my god, I'm getting old, guys. It was with the cases and Howie Mandel. I don't know. Where am I even gonna set this up? Oh my goodness. I guess over here. All right, let's just spin around. And ooh. All right, so I got this padded carrying case. Long story short, it's just got some cutouts. So I've got a cutout for a UT4 throttle because I've got two of them. So, that can just feed in there. There's a cutout underneath for the cord, and then that kind of chills in there. I use bubble wrap just because the foam catches on the handrails, but those are the Atherons that I weathered up, and there's a space for a caboose. And that can be expanded upon, of course. But this way, I can just, keep these locomotives here or any spare locomotives. And when I go somewhere, I can just bring the case. It's protected. It's safe to transport. It's lockable. And, I can go. I can run my locomotives with their rolling stock, and then I can bring everything home. I do want to pick up a second caboose at some point to kind of live in here, because in my, again, lore, things need a caboose if it's multi-unit or passenger. So, right now we're looking at a little cutout. So something else that I added is this little cutout. Hold on, I don't have access to the comments. There we go. Deal or no deal. Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. Chris, when Mark's just calling out timestamps here. Chris, I mean, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out tonight. Because especially as things come up. But I did this cutout because I've been bringing my son down, and he loves watching the trains, and we watch it go in the tunnel and go all around. And so we used to look through the crack in the fascia, and look, I'm spoiling. You can half see the future little, what are we going to talk about? Excuse my cough and slight nasaliness. I'm fighting off allergies. Anyway, he kept looking through the crack in the fascia, and so I got the. I've had this idea for a long time, but kind of swayed back and forth of like, am I actually going to do this or not? But of course, I figured he would enjoy it, so how could I say no to my boy? So here it is. What I did is I just made some custom tunnel portals out of matchsticks and glued them onto foam board for stability. Let's see if we can kind of get you in there for a little preview, and then we'll move on to what you can see in the frame. And if you haven't guessed already, yes, those are amazing throttle pockets from my brother-in-law, Nathan. Shout out to him. They are awesome. First of all, I had some generic black ones, which I still have for sale and can totally do a deal if anybody's interested. But these are more secure, and he even did this on his own kind of account. Look at that. Look at the multi-mark. Like, aren't those just awesome? Those are fantastic. I love them. They fit perfect. They look perfect. Like, just 10 out of 10. Would pocket my throttle again. Anyway, so these little tunnel portals are just, this area is obviously still very much in construction, but Hold on, let me catch up with the comments. Glow in the dark. No way. Speed step 26. These are slow. Look how slow it's going. No way. I'm gonna have to limit all my stuff, by the way, before you guys come over, so that there's no speeding. No speeding. All right, so it's just heading into the main tunnel now. But I like this. That is true. He is Detective Mark. So I don't know what my plan is. I've got that kind of flexible, detailed rock wall from Chooch Industries in the back, and I don't know. I want to do it up. I think it kind of might need a light, but I don't know because you can see. No. Don't unfocus. There you go. You know, it's just kind of cool. You just kind of see it bloop bloop. I might just leave it as is and eventually put some plexiglass over it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm in no hurry, but it's really cool to kind of check out what's going around. And excuse me, and yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. It worked out pretty good. I'm happy with it so far. And if it sits like this for a while, that's totally cool. Okay. Should I move on to the barge or should I slow burn it a little more? Because I got one more big area that I've done, and I'm really happy with the area. Let's okay. How about this? Let's look over at the area quickly, and then let's talk about the barge, and we can return to. So, Dave Cohen's son. I only have the one. Oh my! There we go. Dave Cohen's Son Toys Incorporated. This is an ITLA modular wooden kit that I bought like a year and a half ago and never touched. The plan was to have Chris do it, but I'm kind of going through the whole thing where I don't want to do like the scenery portion of it, of the layout, because I don't like to do it because I'm not good at it. And I don't want it to look bad, but I'm never going to get good at it if I never do it. So it's like the chicken egg situation. And I decided to just kind of jump in with this. And this is the best kit I think I've ever made. I love this area. Don't get me wrong. I love the barge and I'm excited to show you guys that. And operating wise, that's going to be fantastic. But visually, this industry and this switching area is just amazing. So I'm really, really, really excited for it. I should. I did not watch the OVR video. But yeah, it looks good. I've still got to cut out some of the backdrop, and I got to put a top on it. This is, of course, wired up. These are the incandescent, like the warm white lights that I was referring to instead of the cold white that I have. So, of course, I've also wired up a lamp over that kind of garage door. And then I've got the variable brightness interior lights, because when the lights are off, they look a little bright. So I can dim them down like this. And that's quite the scene. So I'm really happy with that because, like, eventually I would love to do some night operations. I think that would be really cool to, you know, like I've always had the thought of almost like basing it around like D&D, almost like Dungeons and Dragons, where excuse me, when people come over and do one op session. When they come back over the second time, it's a continuation of that operating session over the course of maybe a day or a couple of days. So night running and night operations would be a lot of fun, but of course it needs to be adequately lit and set up in a way that people can see what they're doing. So glow in the dark throttle pockets, huh? Oh no! Oh, it didn't break. These. Oh, what are these? Rix magnetic uncouplers. I have dropped them so many times. Every single one I own is super glued, and I keep dropping them, and I keep being like, it's Schrodinger's, uncoupler. If I don't look down, it can't be broken yet, right? But that one wasn't broken, so I'm happy. Anyways, okay. So that's Dave Cohen's Son, Toys Incorporated. My plan for this is to start ballast and ground cover soonish because it's a contained area. I can kind of go ham in that corner and excuse me, and get started and experiment and kind of figure out what I'm doing. Dude, that's just Alcos. That's just Alcos. Yeah, the ITL8 kit, I as I built it, it looked good, but until I got those pillar details on, that really brought it together. And then of course I put everything together. It was great to work with. I really have nothing bad to say about that kit. That's and I could add on to it. That's like the modular one where I just bought a bunch of different side, like wall pieces of wall, and yeah. Okay, James, buckle up. Okay, this is what James came here for. This is the only reason he joined this stream. I've been sending him some pictures of this. He's been excited. I so Mark. Okay, here's some backstory here. Once again, to go way back to what I was talking about. There's no interchange on the layout. My dream kind of that I always thought about doing was doing a cassette or some kind of barge because I just don't have the room for anything permanent. Like really the only permanent expansion room I had was for Dave Cohen's Son Toys Inc. And obviously that's been taken up. So but I didn't really set that up as an interchange. So, I kind of switched within the island because that's what this layout is on, but it never really made sense. So what I did is when Mark ripped up his layout and we were discussing layout plans and stuff, he mentioned that he was going to do a cassette, and I think he was like, "Oh, why don't you do one?" And I think, like James, I know you are doing a rolling cassette. Mark, I know you're doing a cassette where I don't know how it's going to attach yet, but you've got the cassette with the 3 rails or the 4 rails, and that just kind of really inspired me. Now I'm not super good with wood, so it's definitely like James showed me some of his work, and I mean, man, like pro, but not me. I kept it basic. Again, my brother-in-law was amazing for making this happen. And we have a 3D printed barge. Long story short, I found an N scale 3D print file and we scaled it up and did some test printing and whatnot. And yeah, couple iterations later, it's just a little wood pocket with some eyelets and some hooks and two barrel plugs. The barrel plugs, basically, we have its own district, its own power district, comes into these rails here, but then that also back feeds into this isolated entrance apron here, which is isolated right off the switch of the main. I have keep alives, so this is going to be problematic. I need to figure something out to block this when it's not in use. That's still, I'm thinking about this. These are just girder bridge pieces that I got with my brother-in-law when we went to Belleville for the train show. That he haggled down and got them for free. He was like a shark, just going ham. But yeah, it's just simple. I haven't looked at the comments, so James, please be patient with your questions. But it's nothing special. There's no dowels. It's just I built a pocket around the plywood and then kind of just lined up the track. I did use the smaller radius Pico off the main because I just didn't have the room. And then it's the small radius Y switch going into the barge. Definitely not ideal, but it does seem to work with everything I have, so I can't. Do not lean on it. Yeah, it's no legs. It's pretty stable. Like, I'm pushing up, but this is me. Like, yeah, don't lean on it. But for what it is, it's fine. I want to put some plexiglass, probably at least on this side, because it's closer to that side. In my mind, I think that, during an operating session of some kind, it's not going to be... Yeah, let's just stop this bad boy here. It's not going to be installed always. I wanted it... First of all, this is the only area that I could realistically install it. And then I didn't want it in an area where, if people are... Because I thought about putting it over here, but then if you're working on the expansion industry, you're pretty much locked in there because of where my computer desk is. And so I really just wanted to put it somewhere else, But yeah, I basically laid the track, laid the switch. The first couple of iterations, I ended up spreading the tracks wider. I'm going to be putting a wood deck over the ties and over the plastic, so you won't see that. Obviously, I don't have rail stops on here yet either. Like, all that's still to come. But ideally, it's fully functional now with some carefulness, of course, on camera. Like, come on, there you go. See, like, it's level enough that things don't roll. It's not perfectly level, but it's pretty good. So the idea is, during an operating session, it will arrive with cars and need to be switched out, excuse me, and sorted. And a new consist will have to be dropped off in its place to be shipped out. So I think that'll be really, really amazing for our operating potential, because I love to design operating puzzles. Obviously, my layout, we're restricted to 4 cars per locomotive. So You know, in this case, you need to use more than one locomotive, multi-consist. Um, um, oh, come on. I haven't switched out these couplers on the locomotive yet, and they don't love it. They're the Walthers one, and I'll tell you, I almost did switch them out because when I was installing the DCC in them, it took me longer to reinstall the couplers than it did for me to take the thing apart and install DCC completely. So, you know, but yeah, and then like off it goes, you know. And so the idea would be like, great, now I can. I think again, eventually, I want to have different locomotives, different rolling stock, um, especially now that I'm getting more comfortable with custom decals and weathering. You know, I can really make it worth it, um, and make it easier for me to have different things because I still, you know, for example, I don't love the Athearn boxcars that I have because of the coupler pockets. Like they're fine, but they're not screwed on. They're the friction fit with the clips. I can't stand those. Um, I plan on buying some CN boxcars. To be honest, Mark. So yeah, like wait for that. And I'm gonna cheat there so I don't knock anything off. But you know, it's slick, like it works fine. Um, and then you know what I'll do is I'll just bring it around and park the locos on it and run those back. But you know, it's just a lot of operating potential, and I'm really excited for it. You know, because it can be installed, it can be used and switched, and then it can be removed. It's pretty comfortable for this layout to be run by 3 people, despite its size. And I don't think this will affect it too much because when I do write up the operation plans, I do try to consider that, you know, the 3 people or 2 people, and I try to space them out. Um, so I think it'll be pretty cool. Yeah, you know, it was and again, big shout out to Nathan, my brother-in-law, for just being so willing to help me. You know, he gave me some direction. I'd never worked with 3D files before. He kind of got me started, showed me where to go. I messed around. I did all my kind of proof of concept, excuse me, proof of concepting, and then you know, kind of got back to him and said, try, you know, print me one of these and let me test. And it was a little stop and go there for a sec, um, because specifically the steam engines, the 080s, didn't like how tight the radius was. But then I was able to just separate the tracks to allow for slightly larger radius, and it's fine. It all works good. You have 2 S4s, James. What what brand are they? Are they the Bachmann ones or the Atlas ones? Or are they yeah, they're the Atlas ones. Ooh. Send me pictures. Send me pictures. I'm not joking about that. Mark, no. No. CP Rail's my territory. Bad. I'm just kidding. Send us both pictures, James. Send us both pictures. Um, but oh, I'm gonna have to put that bypass on and not forget that it's on. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I'm excited. I don't know if I'm gonna put a water effect or anything like that. I do want to paint the barge, like I said, eventually plexiglass, rail stops, wood decking. I gotta figure out what I'm doing with that apron. I just kind of, I don't know. I don't know if that even makes sense what I made, but kind of looks all right. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Jason, welcome to the stream. I don't know if I'm gonna do water just out of like simplicity. You know what I mean? Um, I definitely want to do water over at the harbor, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Um, yeah. I mean, I guess maybe down the road, but yeah. I mean, that's really it. We've got the locos coming up now. Oops. Guess I should get the old throttle ski ready. Okay, so it's not completely level. Woo-hoo. That was a closey. Um, yeah, it does. It does. Um, Let me collect the cars and I'll show you how it goes in. I do have to program this more because right now the lit number boards are not toggleable, and each ditch light is a different function. But again, brother-in-law, very generous brother-in-law, has a lock programmer, and we're gonna get things set up. All right, look, we're gonna turn off the bypass once we get over the sensor, so I don't forget. There we go. All right, so yeah, we'll turn the train around and then we'll take it out and kind of just show you. It's very basic. Like I said, I'm not good with wood, so I just do what works. And no, definitely need rail stops. I have some wooden rail stops that I thought about painting up. I guess I should flip those switches again, huh? So in these, yeah, I do have the ESU lock. This is a lock pilot version 5 in these. Eventually, I will be putting locks down, but the priority was my other locomotives. Uh-oh. Hello? Ah, jeez. What's happening? I see. There you go. Okay, let's get this going. So, to disconnect it, just plugs out, hooks out of the eyelets. I have a handle. I don't know if you can see. No, you can't. I attached a cupboard handle to the to the back, and I swear I undid that. Right? Did that like flip back in, or did I just hallucinate on doing that? Anyway, and then just kind of wiggle it out because it's a little tight, and I don't want to do anything. I have a centering slat for like a board I put in there to center everything. This initially was 90 degrees off the layout, but for the curves I had to angle it. And let's lower you down a little bit. It's literally just bench work plywood and then cut plywood, which is the same, height as the plywood I used for the barge cassette, and then a bottom. And then, like I said, I've got that centering piece of wood back in there as a stop. Dwight, I've been thinking about this barge since I made the layout an island. So it's been on the docket for quite a while. I never thought it would kind of be possible because initially I wanted to put it down in Cordova Valley, down in Cordova, sorry, which is down here. But with the way I set everything up, there's really no room to put it. I did kind of experiment with putting like a double slip here or something like that. It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. Um, and I didn't want to change the scene. I like the way this switches. I like the way this works. We've got the passing siding there, which can accommodate the 250-foot cars, and that works really well for switching the industries. So I didn't want to mess with that. And again, my second option was to put it at this corner here, but with my desk here, like this is my workbench over here and the expansion. So like it's actually pretty clean. It's the cleanest it's been in a very, very long time. So I just didn't want to block this off for operations, even though it's, quote unquote temporary. I just didn't want to risk that. So hold on, technical difficulties. This station roof, this platform roof fell off and caused some issues. I'll just take that right off for today because I have to glue it. So yeah, that was my second option, but again, I just thought it was too intrusive to the flow of everything, which is not what I wanted. So then I kind of figured out the current placement. Look at that. I even have a to-do list. I have a to-buy list as well. Ugh, if you peek around the shirt, to buy. I don't know what's on there. Probably shouldn't be anything on there after everything I've spent. Because I'm also going ahead with a garage for my house. Actually, it's going to be a completely detached garage in my backyard, but that is expensive. So I am, actively saving for that, but you gotta treat yourself the odd time. You know what I'm saying? Um, Preaching to the choir here. So, but that's about it. It's 9 o'clock. I think I'm gonna wrap this up. I just maybe a quick look. How am I gonna do this? A quick look at this industry up close. So, like I said, we have. So here's a new loco stall for Dwayne's Junction. And that's just a double slip off a double slip. Can you tell I love double slips? And then we have the double slip here. I did this crossing. I don't love how it turned out. It came out really gray. So I don't know. I'll have to sand that down a little bit more and maybe wash it again. But initially, this was an 8-car industry. So what would happen is the main line would come in and back 4 cars in, and there'd be 2 cars being loaded and either 2 cars to be loaded to make it a 6 pack of to be loaded or unloaded, and then one track is done loading or unloading. And so the idea is you basically load and unload some cars, and in sets of 4s, the main line can come in and grab them and drop more off. And so it's really dynamic this way. You've got some extra switching. You've got a head switch there, a head shunt there that's long enough to accommodate 2 40-foot cars and a loco, I think. So it's pretty good. This kit has been really great. You can see I added some lights. Let me just flip the daytime lights on. I've got that dimmer switch. There we go. Where am I stuck on? Oh, come on. There we go. So I've got the lights here, and then I've lit the entranceway. Let's focus here, please. Little entranceway here. And then behind the box cars, I have the loading bays. And they turned out really nice. I'm really happy with that. And main line gave me this crane so I can load and unload gondolas and flat cars. And that looks pretty cool there. So yeah, and then with the backdrop, it kind of just puts the cherry on top. Oh no. My webcam, my camera. Thank you, Nathan. Or both. Multiple people. Thank you. You're right. You do not see any cherry. That's right. What is this, amateur hour? All right. Ta-da! Thank you, guys. I appreciate the warning on Discord, the both of you. So I don't know where I lost you. Probably when I turned on the lights and got caught there. So let's just quickly. We have the entranceway, which is lit, and then we have loading bays, which are both lit. Main line gave me this crane on a track here, so that's cool. I can load and unload gondolas and flat cars. And then it's pretty cool, actually. A good friend of mine who's really into art, Taryn. She kind of helped me out with like the windows and stuff. Ignore that. That's just a backdrop bleeding in. I haven't cut it far enough yet, but I really like how everything turned out. And yeah, it's a really cool scene. I'm really, really happy with it. And it's nice to I can actually switch it sitting down mostly. I got to get up if I want to switch the double slip, of course, though. But sometimes I will work on some stuff at my bench and then switch some trains. No bacon, no bacon, but yeah, it's I don't know, I'm on a diet, so come on, Dwight. You just imagine. Yeah, close your eyes and just imagine. And then yeah, I blacked out some of the windows to make it look cool, and I'm really happy with it. It's like I said, it was a really great kit. I'm really, really satisfied. But I am going to pack it up there. So thank you everybody for watching and sticking around and chatting. I appreciate all the support. It was fun. Obviously I don't stream that often anymore, but I'm always kind of lurking around. I don't often watch a lot of train stuff on YouTube anymore. Not to say I'm not interested. It's just, I'm usually doing something instead of just watching YouTube idly. So, yeah, but I appreciate everybody coming by, and that's about it. So I hope everybody has a great night, a great Friday tomorrow, and until next time, enjoy your bacon.